Hello, everybody. We're in bed with Natasha with DJ Kool
Kool
Dek.
Dek.
Whoa.
Hello.
Hello, Simone, aka Simone. And it's kind of like a special guest for me, or it is a special guest for me, because Simone is resident DJ at my fabulous party, Punk So Prada. He started this year. We met last year, and finally we got him in the DJ booth permanently, and he's staying. And I have to say, we've been doing some really rocking parties.
I agree.
It took us a bit of time to get there, right?
Yeah.
Like, we had to get to know each other a bit.
Yeah. It's always like that with music, like everyone has a different vision of what is a good party, good party music. Some people like more dark side of house music.
Yeah.
I prefer the happy side, so.
Well, I'm more of those kind of like seeing champagne bottles, like just being like open and flowing all over the place, and like sparkles coming down and people jumping in the air. That's my idea of a party. Basically, I like fun.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, I think that nowadays there are very few situations around the world like talking about clubs in which people are having real fun. Like you can see clubs with very good DJs, but people sometimes are not enjoying it because the music is too difficult, or clubs where like the service is very good but the music is not as good. So it's difficult to find a good compromise between good music, good looking people, and also like a good club talking about sound system and everything, like stuff you can drink at the bar. So nowadays, to be on top, you have to pay attention to every detail.
But you're kind of phenomenal in the way that you are 23 years old, you're young, you've come from Padova.
24.
Or 24 now. Oh God, you're getting old. You're getting too old for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I loved about you when I first met you is that I would say that you're a music nerd, basically. You're super passionate about music.
Yeah.
And you've been really involved. And you also have a big network of DJs. And even though you grew up in Padova, you reached out internationally. How did you do that?
I don't know. It's kind of strange because I started with music when I was 8 years old, and no one in my family pushed me to music because like I come from a family that is no one is a musician, and no one has a particular passion for music. And I started as a dancer when I was 9 years old. I was a break dancer, b-boy.
You still do it.
Yeah, and I'm still doing it. No, like not as much as I was doing it when I was younger. But yeah, I still have some moves. But the thing is, I started as a dancer, then I became an MC. Because I was into the hip hop scene, into the local hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, I discovered house music, and I started getting crazy for house music, started going around, clubbing, going in London.
Where did you discover house music?
I don't know, it was like, my cousin gave me a CD, he was always like, house music is the best, and I was like, no, I prefer hip hop, because in my mind, like, music always doing like, boom, 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 like, was too dull, a bit boring, so I was like, I prefer hip hop because it's more creative on the side of the beat making, house is always the same. But then when you grow up, you discover that house, even if it's limited on the drum, on the side of the drums, the drums are more or less the same. You can be more creative on the bass lines, on the melodies, and so on.
Yeah. Basically. So you got crazy about house music, basically, and then from there, no looking back.
No. Like I still listen to a lot of hip hop. I was also into jungle music when I was younger, and into metal music. Many different kind of. Yeah. I went to a lot of metal concerts.
But I think that I'm driven by strong sounds. So I think that means anything from rock to hip hop to anything, even folk, in the way that it sometimes the actual words can be really powerful. Yeah. So anything that's powerful, I'm drawn to it. So I think we share that taste in music.
To be eclectic,
Yeah. Definitely that's what we're trying to do at Punk So Prada. Yeah. But I'm interested, you're also doing a lot of producing as well.
Yeah. Like I started as a producer when I was 16, and like in Padova, basically it's a very small town, so no one pushed me. I started by myself, you know, like taking a look at the tutorials on the internet and that kind of stuff. And then when I was 21, I released my first track on a very big label in the UK.
How did that happen?
Like
It's like a magic.
yeah, it's like the thing is like I produced so many tracks and it was like I'm not sure, you know, because when you listen to the music of other people, you're always like, oh, this track is amazing. But when you listen to your own music, usually as an artist, you're like, I don't know, I don't like it. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. You can't compare this stuff to the stuff of other people. But in the end, it's only a big paranoia. So I met Nick Fanciulli at a party.
Yeah.
I gave him my CD, and like after 2 hours at the party, he played my track.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh, Nick Fanciulli is playing my track. And after 1 week, he wrote me a mail and asking me, would you mind releasing the track on my label? We have like this special release coming with big names like Radio Slave and Gary Beck, and I was like, wow. So like I released my first track on vinyl with one side there was Radio Slave, which is a legend of the English scene, and on the other side it was my track, and I was 21, so like many other labels started asking me for material, and I had this big rush of production in 1 year. I've released tracks on many big labels, and now I'm like in a pause period, you know, because I want to think about what kind of music I want to produce. So like my last release was on last January, and I think my next one will be March 2014.
So do you feel like your taste in music is changing?
Yeah. Basically, I've been eclectic, but even too much, you know, because sometimes you have to focus
on one genre.
That's it, because if you play techno, then you play house, then you play hip hop, you know, people don't recognize you, you know, they're a bit confused. So you gotta focus a bit on something and then develop it, and that's it basically. So as a producer, I released techno tracks, I released tech house track, and now, you know, I want to focus more.
So what genre are you going to be producing?
More or less the kind of music I play at Punks with Prada. So house music, basically, very connected with the happy side of house music.
So upbeat music, basically.
Yeah, like lots of funk inside, you know, very
quite rhythmatic as well. There's a lot of rhythm in the DJ set. Well, I really think the last weeks that we've been working together, like there's been like a real rhythm, and it's just like moving forward, and it's exciting because it's like flowing basically, and then it's up, you know. It's a very high, like, you know, fun attitude happening on the dance floor. And what's really great is that how important it is that as a DJ to see the public interacting with you, because a lot of DJs are just playing and they don't care what's going on out there. And me having been a DJ, I always feel like my dance floor needs to guide me. Yeah. Like if it's not working, I move it, you know.
There are different kind of DJs, you know, like very technical DJs that they don't pay attention to people and they are more focused on what happened on their decks. Yeah. Other DJ that they say, I'm playing my music, I don't give a shit about people, so they're just going on play their music. And other DJ who pay more attention to the crowd, and they are, you know, like they interact a lot. And sometimes the problem with this kind of DJ set is that they are more concentrated on the people than on the music. But if you create a good compromise, in my opinion, it's the best, you know.
Absolutely.
Because I really don't like DJs that are not looking at the crowd, not interacting. It's always good, you know, when you see a DJ smiling, when you see like you see that he's having fun as much as you. So like that's a good chemistry, you know. Like.
Absolutely, yeah. So what about Italian house music today, or Italian music? How do you think we are doing in the rest of the world? I mean, how relevant is dance music in Italy, and how relevant is Italian dance music abroad?
I don't know. The thing is, in Italy, like we have many great artists, but the problem is that they're all escaping abroad, you know. Many are living in London or in Berlin, like the one who are more radical, you know, like, and they like techno, for example, they're moving in Berlin. Like London is a great place now for house music, and electro music in the USA, for example, is a big thing now.
Yeah, it's like a
EDM, you know, like so Benny Benassi, for example, is playing
Yeah.
more in the US than in Europe. Or for example, Marco Carola. Now he moved from Barcelona to the US and he's living in New York,
Making
Miami.
a lot of money.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money basically because, you know, like the thing is strange, but the US, they have invented house music, they have invented techno music,
Yeah.
but they never developed it as we have done in Europe. So basically, they invented it, we developed it, and now we are taking it back to the US. So like all the big DJs now are making the money in the US because, you know, they have big clubs, they have a festival mentality, you know, that we don't have apart from the UK. Like, there are many good festivals in Europe, but basically
there's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
Do you think some of these DJs get paid too much money?
Yeah.
Do you think they're getting too much? I mean, I've heard things like David Guetta is getting over 100,000, 200,000 a gig.
200,000 a gig. Also, Avicii is crazy.
So
like
we should just be being DJs.
No, you know, the thing is like the DJs, they have, you know, it's like rock music and live bands are disappearing from the charts, from the festival, and DJs are all over the place, you know, but I don't know, like something is missing, you know, because the music, like the musical side is kind of dying, and it's only about, you know, excitement for big light shows and super sound system.
Yeah, it's true.
The music is no more like the most important thing. The most important thing is the show, like Tomorrowland, you know, like big.
That was like it has with like big pop stars, but there is something missing with the live band, you know.
Yeah, like the singers, you know, like you don't have no more, like, for example, in the 90s there were like great compromises, like, I don't know, Morocco, they were doing house music, but they had like great front girl, like Rosie Murphy, like, you know.
And it was like amazing sound put together, so it was like alive with electronic.
Yeah, now, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to go see a guy like David Guetta getting paid 200,000 euros, only doing put his hand in the air, and people get excited for nothing, you know, because basically he's not producing his own music. He never produces his own. Yeah, they are all ghost produced. This guy, Avicii, David Guetta, because think about it, like they don't have time to produce. They're always on tour. Like it's impossible, you know. So like everyone knows that they are there because someone produces music for them.
People don't seem to care though, because they want that show, they want that celebrity element. I know.
It's a big problem about today, you know, like music, and also I think it affects more music than cinema actually, but music and other, you know, artistic business are affected by this problem, that people, they don't have time to find good music, so they accept what the radio and the TV, you know, gives to them.
So we're going to be seeing a lot more from Kool Dek, and you can find him on Facebook as well on his site.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for him to put up some good PWP mixes as well, but I'm going to see him on Friday night.
Today I'm going to do it. Yeah. I promise.
Thanks so much for coming in and having a chat with me on the bed, and we'll see you in the DJ booth next week. Thanks, guys. Ciao. Bye-bye.